bit earlier, we're going to show you the complete build-up to the fight, starting as both boys get in the ring. Adey Benton from Bradford in Yorkshire. There's the record, fighting for the British bantamweight championship in his 14th professional outing. Not the best of preparations, coming in off the defeat against Johnny Bredahl in Denmark in the middle of September, but he took Bredahl 8 rounds. And he will be sure that he is honed to perfection for this contest tonight. Challenger in the ring, Adey Benton, representing Bradford, Yorkshire and England. And we await the champion of Great Britain with the skirl of pipes. Who could it be but the champion, Drew Docherty. Crowd starting to get in the mood for this championship defense. Here is Drew Docherty. And there is the record, just one defeat against Vincenzo Belcastro for the European title last February. We saw that on ProBox. And the added incentive tonight, if added incentive he needed, if he wins this fight tonight, the championship Lonsdale belt becomes his outright. So both boys in the ring, and we join our MC now, Peter Baines.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first of our joint main attractions of the evening, an international bantamweight contest made at 8 stone 6 pounds. Over 12 3-minute rounds for the official Bantamweight Championship of Great Britain. Presenting and introducing on my left and in the red corner, wearing the gold and black trunks, will you welcome please the challenger from Dewsbury and #1 contender, Adey Benton. On my right, ladies and gentlemen, in the blue corner, also my very great pleasure to present and introduce, wearing the tartan trunks from Docherty, the official British bantamweight champion, Drew Docherty. Your referee for this contest, appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, Mr. Roy Francis from London. Your timekeeper, Mr. Ricky Gilmore. Your steward in charge, Mr. Jerry Woolard. British Boxing Board of Control representative, Mr. Leonard Nipper Reid. The Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Alistair Howie. And the matchmaker, Mr. Graham Lockwood. At the weigh-in today, both boxers scale exactly 8 stone 5 pounds. Benton, red corner. Docherty, blue corner.
So both boys just a notch inside the championship limit. Both look absolutely superbly trained. Roy Francis is the referee for this scheduled 12-round bout. Barry, your thoughts going into it?
Well, Boxing News predicts an upset for Adey Benton, or an upset for Drew Docherty, and that Adey Benton will win. But I'm not so sure about that. I don't think he's ready to go yet. It'll be a really interesting fight.
So scheduled for 12 rounds, Benton the challenger in the gold with the black trim, and Docherty, well, what else? Tartan trunks for the champion.
Round 1.
Round 1. And bearing in mind that Benton has been in with the likes of Bredahl, you can't really say that Docherty represents too much of a step up in class. He's used to facing boys of this calibre.
Well, he certainly won't be overawed by Drew Docherty, and that is shown right away by his disrespect for him. He walking straight in there and no regard for his punching power at all. And that is right too, because when you got to go and take a guy's title, you got to go straight in there and just rip it from him. Benton is on a high at the moment. He stopped the comeback in Pat Clinton in 2 rounds and put him down a few times, and he's got a very awkward style of fighting. He's one of the sort of old school, stays in punching range, is prepared to trade with you. He's quite good at slipping punches when he's not, when he's within punching distance. He slips punches very well, puts all his weight behind his punches, but he's not really a power puncher himself. He sort of wears you down with these winging punches combinations, and he's starting this round off very successfully.
You take your mind back to February, Barry. Remember, we did commentary on the Belcastro-Docherty fight, and Belcastro was just too strong, too mean, too tough, too much of everything for Docherty on that night.
Yeah, he punched too much and punched too powerfully, and Docherty didn't have the power to keep him off, and he complete disregard for his arsenal of punches, and just walked straight through him and give him a sound beating from first bell to the last really. And Benton is trying to do exactly the same thing here, and he won't have as much success because he's not as hard a puncher as Belcastro was. I think Docherty, whilst he's reddened around the face, he's still sharp enough now. But this is definitely Adey Benton's opening round.
Decent round for the challenger.
Definitely is.
Very much so. When you consider that, he's doing everything the hard way. He's coming into the champion's backyard. He's got a hostile crowd. Anything that might count something in his favour is an English referee.
I think this is going to turn into be a cracker of a contest, because these two guys are going to go hell for leather here. Drew Docherty's going to try and retain his dominance in the bantamweight division domestically, and obviously Adey Benton is going to try and take it off him. We've got a super weight division. We've got Nassim Hamid, we've got Wayne McCullough, we've got Drew Docherty, and we've got Johnny Armour. It's full of talent, the bantamweight division at the moment. And whilst I say he's the king of the domestic scene, I don't think he's the best bantamweight in the country.
Well, I'll give that round to the challenger, Adey Benton.
Yes, I'd give it to him too. He's a good all-out attacking style, and poured all over the champion. We were looking at him in the corner. He's picked up a little bit of a bruise underneath the left eye and the cheekbone. He's fairly prominent cheekbones. There seems to be a little bit of a mark there. But he started off and pushed through Docherty and fought at a good pace right through the first round.
And over the other side of the ring, Drew Docherty won the title in June '92 against Joe Kelly in an all-Scottish bout, defended it in another all-Scottish bout against Donny Hood. So tonight, as I said a moment or so ago, the chance to make a Lonsdale belt his own personal private property.
10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 2.
Second round then, and a decent start for the challenger, Adey Benton from Yorkshire in the gold, against the reigning British bantamweight champion from Condoret in Scotland, Drew Docherty, making the second defence of his title. And Benton, is just simply not giving Docherty a chance to settle.
Yeah, he's staying on top of him, and what he's doing is he's trying to draw Drew's lead, keeping his upper body moving well. I like that about him. I saw him really early on in his career, and I like the way he moved his head. The hands are a wee bit low, but Drew's not a real puncher, so he can afford to take that chance. And he's a dab hand at slipping punches and then getting it himself and letting his own combinations rattle off. He's going to have to keep the pressure on Docherty, because Docherty will be able to fight back or fire back into this fight if he drops the pace. He's got to keep the pace on Docherty. He's got to keep him on his back foot and keep throwing punches and keep feinting and showing moves and then doing something else. But basically pressure, as Belcastro showed, that's the way to beat Drew Docherty. And don't give him a chance to think and to set his punches up. Good left hook.
Yeah, the gum shield
out.
That was a good shot from
back
Benton.
with his own right hand. This is going to be a cracker day.
Oh, certainly shaping up to be. You're quite right. Roy Francis letting the action continue. And Benton already in a round and a half proving a real handful.
Yeah, he's kept the pressure on him. Docherty's starting to find his range now. He's starting to nail Benton as he comes forward. This is going to be a great fight. And it'll be a fight of wills here. Who wants it the most? Because they're matched I think they're matched similarly in punching power department. And it's going to be a great fight. And
the one big advantage as far as Docherty is concerned, if the fight goes to the later stages, is that Benton has never gone remotely anywhere near 12 rounds. The furthest he's ever been is 8. And,
that's true.
And Docherty's done the 12-round trip on 2-3 occasions that I can think of, and that's a big advantage.
Well, there's blood on somebody's face there. I don't know whether it's nose or whatever, but there seems to be a bit of blood popping around there. But both of the guys are marked up because they're both committed at this stage. They're trying, standing in punching range and exchanging blows. Yeah. Docherty's slightly coming back here. He's beginning to find Adey Benton with these counter punches coming up to the end of the second round. Great round for both of these guys. Again, I'm going to give it to Benton for his effort.
And here is Adey Benton. McGuigan has given him the first 2. I've given Benton the first. I must admit, I scored the second round even, Barry.
I wouldn't argue with that.
Now,
but some great attacks from Benton in this round, staying in punching range. He's a really exciting fighter. He's a hit or be hit style. He, as I said before, it seems to be a contradiction of what I said, but he has done good. Let's have a look at some of his attacks here in this round. Benton again staying on top. Long left hook, threw it with the wrong part of his hand there, but nonetheless throwing punches, winging away, and he's full of vitality at this stage.
Seen him once before, that very controversial fight, remember? Against Michael Aldis, which he won on a disqualification after a low blow. Coming up for the third, scheduled 12, remember, at stake. Drew Docherty's British bantamweight title. And Adey Benton, the challenger from Yorkshire in England, has done a spirited job in starting this fight, as though he really means to go and rip that title away out of Docherty's grasp.
Yes, I don't think that he normally is this aggressive. He normally is a little bit more standoffish, slips punches very well, and he's been caught a little bit more as a result of his aggression. He's stepping in a bit closer because he's dead keen to do the job here. He's so keen to win this title that he's taken chances, and he has been nailed by Drew Docherty, and I feel sure that Docherty will come back into it more as the fight goes on. He's beginning to find his range, and he's taking the centre of the ring more and not allowing Benton to force him back so much.
And as Barry pointed out, this particular division is fearsomely strong in Great Britain at the moment, and the incentive for Benton, apart from winning, is that he knows that if he loses, he's at the back of a queue of 4 or 5 very good fighters.
Yeah, the one that I didn't mention was Michael Aldis, of course, that we talked about. Oh, beautiful uppercut from Benton. Absolute cracker. Seemed to shake Docherty. Oh, another good right hand. Shook Docherty again.
A little bit of trouble at the moment. He's trying to fight back. But those two were big, heavy shots, and they definitely hurt him.
Oh, coming back, Docherty. Good stuff, and a little shake of the head from Adey Benton. But that was a good punch from Drew Docherty.
Oh, that was a good left hand from Docherty. Caught Benton as he was coming forward. He's not noted to be a big hitter, Docherty. He's only stopped 3 of his opponents. Stiff hitter rather than a damaging one.
Benton threw a beautiful body shot, right hand to the body. They just turned it up.
Now, Benton's already achieved something, and that is silencing the crowd.
Yeah, he's really going for it here. He's
Good defence.
he's throwing everything into his attacks here. He's been hit a few times himself, Benton, but he's hit Docherty an awful lot, and seems to have shaken him twice in this round with a right uppercut first of all, and then a right hand round the side. Definitely give the knees, give a little bit of a jig from Drew Docherty. Again, Benton working the body, switching to the head. This is good stuff from him. These guys have whipped themselves into tremendous shape. Oh, good stuff from both of these guys. Super fight.
There's absolute corker so far.
Good left hook from Docherty coming back.
Yeah, but at the moment, it's the old story. Docherty's tending to throw single shots, and the pressure where it's coming from Benton. Well, from here on in, it's unknown territory for Adey Benton. Never gone further than 8 before. This will be a test of stamina, conditioning, and mental stamina and mental conditioning too. Docherty's seen it all before, of course. 12 rounds against Belcastro, against Hood, against Joe Kelly. Oh, good left from Benton. Every so often, he just lands a single shot, and Docherty's legs just twitch momentarily.
Yeah, he's landed a couple of good ones in the early rounds, and it looked like Docherty's legs just give a little bit of a jig, but he's looked stronger, Docherty, over the last couple of rounds, and his experience is definitely coming into it now.
A little smear of blood under Benton's nose now.
And if you watch who finishes each combination the best, you'll always see Docherty gets right back on balance again better. And even if Benton hits him with a good clean punch, Docherty will come back with something nice and sharp, but always finish with his left. Very, very correct. Textbook stuff from him. Again, you see Benton lands 2 good punches, and Docherty lands the right hand and bounces back out. Right on balance again.
You get the feeling now that I think Benton has caught Docherty with as good as any shot that he's going to catch him with, and he hasn't really had Docherty in big trouble.
Well, he may only catch him with half the power that he caught him in the early rounds, but when they start to get tired and fatigue sets in, you know, guys just can't stand up to the same sort of blows.
Well, certainly the early part of this contest did belong to Benton. Docherty did well to come through that. And for me, he stamped himself pretty well on this contest so far.
I think it's a very close fight, Dave. I hate to disagree with you, but I think it's absolutely nothing in this. Not a thing. Maybe a round, maybe not even that.
Well, going into this, I had Docherty 2 rounds in front. We'll see.
Again, Docherty finishing the round strong, looking neat and tidy right up to the end.
That's what's impressing me, I have to say. The neatness of his work, the way he's held his technique together under pressure, and there has been a lot of pressure in this fight. Good right hand from the challenger. My goodness, that was a good punch. Well, 3 to go. And there's a man who's seen title fights, world, British, Jim Watt, former WBC featherweight champion of the world. He's worn well, hasn't he?
He has indeed. He always keeps himself in shape. Look at that right hand. It's snapping Docherty's head back. Right on top of the forehead, unfortunately for Benson, but Some great exchanges. This fight has been filled with exchanges similar to that.
Almost 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 10.
Round 10. A couple of really big rounds for either man could put this contest even yet beyond any doubt. I've got Docherty ahead, I have to say, but not that far ahead that he can't be caught and indeed overtaken.
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. It's very close indeed. Docherty, I have him actually shade in front, but very close indeed. If Benton puts on a good big finish here, if he's enough left in the tank, enough energy left to keep on top of Drew Docherty.
That's the big question, isn't it?
That's it. Could turn this fight around for himself. But again, the jabs from Drew Docherty, the bread and butter left jab, has been looking impressive.
I have to say that I am impressed with the way that Docherty's bounced back after that defeat against Belcastro. And Belcastro did a fairly comprehensive number on him. He really beat him up that night in Glasgow. And he took a few months off. Did Docherty, came back with a fairly straightforward points win over Miguel Matthews, and here he is involved in another tough title fight.
Good work from Benton in this round.
Yes,
oh,
indeed.
good right
Yes,
hand
indeed.
just as I speak.
Oh, and caught him with a good right hand. Another one.
Counter punches are tit for tat here.
This is a decent round for Benton.
Docherty taking a right hand and almost instantaneously comes back with one of his own. Almost punch for punch here, Dave.
Indeed, but it's
left
good
hook.
left.
Benton
From
again.
Benton. This is a good round for the challenger. And suddenly, Docherty looked a little tired in that exchange. A little slow to cover.
Good work from Benton. If he can turn it up now in the next 2 rounds, he can win it.
And that has given him a little shot of adrenaline just when he needed it most.
But they're both very tired here, so it's who holds it together. Sticking to your strategic plan at this stage. Docherty gritting his teeth and fighting back.
Coming up to the end of the round. Good round for the challenger, that was.
I have it all square going into the 11th round. Dead even.
Well, I must say that even though I gave that round to the challenger, still got the champ 2 in front.
Benton pressurising Docherty in that round, forced him back, long left hook, kept on top of him. That must be looking impressive to referee Roy Francis. Keeping that ends well pressed firmly down on those cheekbones, looking a bit swollen around the cheekbones, and a swab of Vaseline over the eyebrows around the cheekbones to help those punches slip off. The only form of protection you're allowed, if you can call it that.
Penultimate round then. And who knows, maybe this British bantamweight title of Drew Docherty's could be hanging in the balance. Only Roy Francis knows for sure, and he won't tell for another few minutes yet.
Oh, beautiful left hook from Docherty. Counter left hook is an absolute cracker there. Benton tried the right hand, ran in a bit recklessly, walked onto a left hook. this is what I say, David. It's so important to hold it together. Even in these late rounds, if you lose your composure and get a bit reckless, you can walk onto a cracking punch, which can turn the fight around.
For sure. You probably heard Benton's corner.
Benton's been shaking from that left hook. There's no doubt about that. Docherty again fighting for the centre of the ring, Dave.
Yeah, they were telling him, trying to lift him. But Docherty had gone, he was tired, he was knackered. Benton was finishing the stronger. Well, true or not, that's what you've got to tell your fighter.
Yeah, you've got to motivate him, you've got to get him up.
It's almost a reflex reaction
low blow there
from Docherty.
He hit him a bit low there.
And that will time out from Roy Francis. Docherty will get all the time he wants to recover. A little smear of blood under Docherty's nose now. I was going to say, it's almost a reflex action from Docherty. Every time Benton lands a big shot, out comes the left jab.
Well, it's a sign of a good counter puncher to come right back. Better work from Docherty. He's getting the cleaner punches home here. He's holding his hands up, getting hit occasionally, but blocking most of these punches from Benton.
Good work from the champion. Still, with the energy to use the ring well. What a bounce in the step.
Those legs of his, those good legs, have kept him out of trouble here.
So the road work comes in.
Absolutely. Long, hard miles running up those hills. Oh, good work from Docherty.
Yeah, Benton clipped off as he came in.
He's fending him off excellently.
Hallmark of a good champion, this. He lost the last round, but he's coming back to win this one all right. So the champion, is he just 3 minutes away from that outright Lonsdale belt? The Enswell working on his face as well.
This is where Docherty moved back. Benton running recklessly to throw the right hand. And watch this left hook. Boof! Absolutely cracker of the shot. Hit him with a shoulder too. You see it again from a different angle. Watch this now. Winds up the right hand as he. Watch Benton's head. Watch what he does here. Look, watch this for a left hook. Pulls his whole weight down. Turns him right round. Beautiful shot.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds in, 12, and last round.
Both boys bounding out for the final round, the obligatory touch of gloves. Final round of what has been really an excellent, verging on the classic bantamweight title fight. Drew Docherty of Scotland in the dark trunks, defending against a tremendous challenger, Adey Benton from Yorkshire. I'm not sure whether Benton has done quite enough, but, well, you never know. We'll find out for sure at the end of this round.
Well, I have Drew Docherty 1 round up going into the last round. That's how close I have it. Very close fight. It might be different to Roy Francis. There was a couple of close rounds there that he could interpret either fighter having won. But this has been an excellent contest.
Certainly has. One of the fights of the year so far on Pro Box.
Absolutely, definitely. Fantastic fight. Good right hand from Docherty. And you know, Benton's lack of experience of going the 12-round distance could be the telling telling point in this fight, Dave?
Well, I think so. He started very, very quickly, and the early few rounds were certainly his. But then Docherty gradually got the game plan together, got the jab to work, and for me, he's been pretty solid from there on in. That's not to say Benton hasn't had his moments, though.
Well, he most definitely has. He's put up a fabulous performance, absolutely brilliant performance. He just seems to be a bit jaded here. There doesn't seem to be much energy left in him, and he hasn't got the same bounce in his feet that Docherty has, and Docherty's able to pick him off with clean punches here. And it could be the deciding factor, and I think it will be.
Well, not surprising. Pace dropped dramatically since that early lightning fast start. Docherty bleeding quite heavily from the nose now in this final round. Too late for it to have any real effect, but he's content. He knows he's got this one. He's content just to really keep out of trouble in this final round.
Yeah, he's kept well out of trouble. And Benton is chasing him now. He needs to finish the round really strong if he's got any chance with this one. It's very close indeed. No, I think it's got to be Drew Docherty.
Docherty has it.
But by a fraction of a point in my scorecard.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Roy Francis scores it. I'll make it 118.5 to 117. That's 3 rounds in Docherty's favour. Barry has it a lot closer.
I have it 118, 117.5.
Adey Benton looks sick, but no real complaints. There's Wilson Docherty in the ring. Hugs and salutations all round, and off camera I'm watching the Lonsdale belt being prepared for this man who has won British boxing's greatest trophy outright. It is his for keeps now. The Lonsdale belt. Let's get the final verdict now from Peter Baines.
Ladies and gentlemen, after an excellent contest, the referee scores the contest. Docherty 119 points. Benton 116.5 points.
Well, a huge margin in the end. Benton can't believe it. 119, 116.5. I think Benton a little hard done by, but no doubt at all the rightful winner and still British bantamweight champion.